It wasn't really until my junior year that a couple of things happened. I kind of got overwhelmed and burnout on a lot of the extracurricular things that I was doing. Some of you guys may have had that experience where you're like involved in 8 million clubs in your sorority, and you tried out for the ultimate Frisbee team, but turns out they travel every weekend, so you're like, ew, no thanks. Though I did learn one really cool ultimate Frisbee trick, and I'll show you later. But I just got overwhelmed, and I didn't know what I wanted to say yes to anymore because I was saying yes to a million things, which basically meant that I was saying meh to a million things and not doing anything that I cared about very well. And so my junior year, a couple of things happened. 2 different scripture verses started standing out over and over and over. The first one was from Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9. And it says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not by works, so that no one may boast." And I'm sure I had read that before, but that was the first time that I ever remember realizing that God didn't like me because I hustled a lot, or God didn't like me because I was good. God didn't like me just because I showed up to Bible study and was leading a Bible study and was mentoring all these girls and discipling them and teaching them to disciple other disciples who disciple other disciples. Even though those were really cool, big goals, that's not why God loved me. And it was almost like a call to stop the hustle. It wasn't about performing. It wasn't about perfection. It was just about being his. It's about abiding with the God of the universe and letting him love the snot out of me. And the second kind of came after that. It was a verse from Ezekiel 36:26. It says, "I will take from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh." And I had this experience in prayer where I kind of saw what my heart looked like for the first time. And it was kind of disgusting. Like, it was covered in this black, sticky tar stuff. And I'm a very visual person. So when we talk later, I'll tell you a little bit more about yeah, for those of you who are very visual people, you can pray that way. Ta-da. But I remember just seeing my heart like this sticky black tar stuff and being disgusted by it. And it was so much, it wasn't even just like sin as I thought it was going to be, but it was like self-righteousness and basically just being like, Lord, I don't really need you because I'm doing all this good stuff on my own and I'm showing up to Mass and look at all of my sorority sisters who are the worst. Like, bless them, help them, Lord. Little did I know that I needed an incredible mercy to be shown to me. And there was a moment in prayer where it felt like God took that heart away from me. And at first I was like, oh, no, don't touch it. It's gross. Like, don't do that. And he's like, no, I love that heart. I want that heart, but I also want to make it new. And he did. And it was like getting a scab ripped off, which sounds really disgusting. But when that happens and you're kind of like just really vulnerable and scared and like, oh, I can't hide behind anything anymore. That's exactly what it felt like in my relationship with God.